Hi there, Suhai Banu here with the Full Circle Business, and I am excited to share with you a new series that I'm launching on my YouTube channel. Will also be available on my website and some other places as well, called Women for Women. So the goal here is to share stories and introduce you to other women business owners that I've worked with to help me launch my business, to help me in my painting business. And today, my first guest, I'm very excited to introduce you to Chelsea Craig with Rhino Reviews. So I'm going to let her tell you what she does and why she does it. And then we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation and learn a little bit more about her business and see if there's a way she may be able to help you in the same way that she's helped me. So Chelsea, good to see you, and it's all yours.
Thank you. Very excited to be here. And I absolutely, as a fellow business owner, a woman as well, love the idea and the mission of what you're creating and building with this. So very honored to be here and have a minute to tell a little bit about our story and Rhino Reviews. Starting with that, my name is Chelsea Craig. I'm the founder of Rhino Reviews. And what we do is work with businesses to help proactively protect and build up their online reputation. We started with the focus of online reviews. So think your customer reviews, Google, Yelp, Facebook. And from there, we've really evolved just hearing great feedback from the businesses that we have the pleasure to work with, such as you. And so we also work with like a lot of social media kind of protecting. COVID was really strong with businesses having to shift and put their attention online. However, a lot of business owners, that's not their skill set, nor do they really have the time or desire to sit behind a computer all day watching what's said on Facebook or other platforms. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in now, though, ignorance and not having the time you don't have the luxury of that in a business. You need to be present and you need to be aware of what's being said. So we come in, partner with businesses and allow them the opportunity to focus on running their business offline with the peace of mind that their reputation is being protected online. My why, should I hop right into the why? Or?
Go for it. Yep.
Awesome. My why, I'm incredibly passionate about people. And when I actually first launched the business, we were finding tools and software to help with, and I couldn't really figure out why I couldn't figure out why I wasn't, energized and excited about what I was doing. And I really realized that it's the connections with people that motivate me. And I'm an athlete at my core. I love that feeling of being on a team and being involved with someone and working towards a goal. And just having something more than this transactional business experience. Once I realized that, with the help of a great business coach, we pivoted the business and did start that kind of like more intimate process where we're directly working with the businesses more. We're providing more of a service than just a software. And from there, it's really been incredible. So that my why is really just those relationships. I love hearing, getting like a compliment. It sounds bad, but getting a compliment from one of our clients that we're doing well, or those quick little emails or texts, like that is what truly lights my soul on fire. And knowing that we're helping and providing an actual solution, and helping out those businesses. So
yeah, I think I've discovered too is the why is really, really important, making sure that you pinpoint, like you said, what really makes you feel good at the end of the day. I teach people all the time, my favorite thing to be is helpful, which sometimes can be a blessing and sometimes it can be a curse. But again, like you said, with the people and the connections and knowing that you're, helping a really busy business owner. And I'll tell you the story of how Chelsea and I met next, really take something off their plate that's important, but that, like you said, they don't really have the time to do. So Chelsea, and it's interesting because I have a good list of women that will follow Chelsea in this Women for Women series. All of them, I think, for the most part, I met through some sort of referral or prior relationship. So Chelsea came to me through a referral for the painting business, and I can't even remember how many years has it been. It was pre-pandemic. I know that.
Gosh, that's true. And the pandemic, I always forget. Everything's kind of a black hole in there. So yeah, maybe 4 years now.
Yeah, at least. So came to me through a referral, and we're both local to the Philadelphia area. So we decided to meet in person. Imagine that. And so it's a funny story. And Chelsea teases me that I remembered it. And hopefully I remember it the same way she did. We picked a little bakery that was kind of halfway between our houses to meet at, and both got there early. Kind of sat in the car for a little while, checked emails, and then went inside, sat down and like ordered our cup of tea, and we're hanging out. And then I can't remember, I think maybe you sent me a text that said you were there and told me what you were wearing, and I looked up and I'm like,
We were
We've
both
been sitting
sitting.
here for 20, 25 minutes. We could have started our meeting early. So I had a coach in college when I worked with the men's team who said, early is on time is late, and late is unheard of. So it was really cool that we both kind of had that mentality. And I think you said your dad told you something.
I was going to say my dad was that. My dad was the, like, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late mentality, and
Right.
still is.
Yep. So had a great first meeting. And again, Chelsea took over the brand management for our painting company, John Neal Painting, where I'm in charge of all the advertising and marketing. And again, like you said, it was just something that we needed to do. And I didn't have the time or the bandwidth to do it myself. And I tease and tell people that I'm like, it's one of the best things I've ever outsourced because, we worked together really closely for the first 6 months or so, I would say, just to get a feel for our voice and how we kind of reply and respond to customers. And then from there, Chelsea's made it super easy to work with her and to keep our online reviews coming in kind of on a steady stream, because you got to be careful with Google and not tick them off with too many too soon. And really, like she said, just managing everything behind the scenes so that we don't have to worry about it, 24/7 with regards to what's going on and out in the lovely world of the internet and the great big web. So anything else you want to throw in before I ask you another tough question? But
I'll
important
just
question.
kudos to John Neal. It's easy to work with businesses when you guys are delivering the amazing results that you work, when it's all positive stuff coming in. Those are we love that.
And actually, it's like kind of the same thing that for me with being in the consulting world and focusing on systems, but also that like connection and making it easy. So I think you've got that great blend of you've systematized the process, but there's still that personal interaction and that personal touch that goes with it to make it feel like, oh, it's just not automated. So appreciate that as well. So with that being said, can you share with us who your ideal client is? I think, in my world, I'm always looking for a good fit both ways. And I think that's where you really build successful relationships. So if you could share a little bit about who your ideal client is and what a good fit looks like for you with regards to potential new customer.
Yeah, it's such a great question. I'm going to answer the latter half of it first with the who's a good fit versus the ideal client, because we definitely have the ideal client piece. That's a little bit more formulaic, I would say.
Right.
But what I have found over the years in business is the fit piece is just as important as the right industry and the kind of business. And what I mean by fit is who we're going to be working with. Like, who am I going to be speaking with? Do they believe in what we're doing? Do they see the value in what we're doing? And especially when it comes to the work that we do with reviews, with reputation, it's a lot of customer feedback, which can be challenging for a business owner to take. So we need to understand and know that the business owner is going to value that feedback and look at it the right way. They're going to see that there's an opportunity, maybe if they're getting critical feedback. But essentially, we kind of get that understanding by, if we start working with a business and they maybe have a poor reputation, trying to understand, is this reputation unfairly earned, or the business is making adjustments to try and change that, they want to improve, or is this a true representation of maybe that individual? Because in that situation, it's not going to be a good fit for us, because they're looking for us to put a Band-Aid on a leaky bucket that's not actually going to work. So the fit piece is huge. We want businesses with the good, right attitudes, that truly value their people, their customer feedback, and all of that. The actual business itself, when it comes to like who's the right kind of target for the work that we do, it's really small to medium-sized businesses where it's typically still owner operated. That owner is wearing a million different hats and they really just need assistance with things. We like owners that are businesses that are comfortable with delegating systems, because again, our whole thing is we want to come in and take it off of your hands. You already have a million other things. So people that are comfortable and familiar with delegating out to teams. And then as far as industries, there are some that work better than others. I call it the professional services. As John Neal is, the kind of painting, remodeling, construction industry, as well as the true kind of like professional services, dentists, doctors, lawyers, where the person maybe is a little bit more of that brand. And the other thing that those industries typically have in common is reviews are a numbers game. So businesses where there is kind of like a flow of new customers coming in, that we can work with and outreach to.
Sounds good. And I, like I said, will say that I'm a big systems person, and it's been super easy with regards to creating a system that works for us and for Chelsea and Rhino Reviews, where I give her what she needs and she takes it and runs with it. And then she kind of tags me back in if she needs to somewhere along the way. But it's been a huge time saver. It probably takes me 10 minutes a month, maybe, to prep my list for Chelsea and get it over to her, if that. And then, from there, like I said, the reviews continue to come in on a slow and steady stream so that, like I said, you're not kind of tipping the scales with regards to Google. I will say anybody that's looking to up their number of Google reviews, be really careful. And I'm sure you could attest to this as well on how you do it and how quickly you do it, because they're getting a little bit more finicky, I would say, about,
Yeah.
what's allowed and what isn't allowed, and kind of the rapid growth. It's not quite the same as it used to be. Again, another really good reason to have somebody that really understands, I think. And one of the things that you'll see over the course of the series is almost every woman that I'm going to chat with and share my story with is in a niche, so a very niche business and a niche space within, their industry. And I think that's kind of also become a little bit of the norm, and kind of more critical, is you want somebody that really just knows what they're doing in that one area. We can't kind of, like you said, cover it all anymore. So it's a little bit more complex in the Google world. And having someone that's all they do, is really helpful in making sure that you're, dotting your I's and crossing your T's properly. So excuse me, how should we best get in touch with you if someone wants to learn more about, your process and going through that discovery call, as I like to call it, to see if things are a good fit, and seeing if there's a way that they can be helpful to you as well in their business, in terms of kind of taking this off their plate maybe, or, putting them in the right direction if you aren't the great fit, or giving them some advice on, all things Google. Where's the best place to come and look for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we feel free to reach out to me directly. My email is just Chelsea, CHELSEA at rhino-reviews.com. I'm always happy to answer any questions or help in any way I can. I often find the questions are great because it helps me understand, what's important, as well as, what people want to know and want to better understand. If you're looking just to kind of learn a little bit more, both about what we do, as well as you mentioned, like any updates that might be happening, because the digital space does move very quickly, and they're always trying and testing new things, often without announcement. Feel free to follow our LinkedIn. That's where we do the most of, we're posting a couple times a week. Anytime Google does something that affects small businesses, we're putting it up there, as well as offering a lot of like tips and tricks that you can use and kind of implement within your own business. And
And
that, feel free to follow. Oh, sorry.
so we're just going to search for Rhino Reviews on LinkedIn and we'll find you that way. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So we do either Rhino Reviews or my personal LinkedIn, and we share back and forth. So either one you want to follow, the information will be there.
And then your website is just...
Oh, correct. Yes. Yeah. Our website is rhino-reviews.com. And that's kind of got all the information about the different services we provide, as well as a link to our podcast, which also we host different marketing guests and talk all things reviews and reputation there. So if you're looking to have something to download, that's where that is.
All right. I'm going to give you one short notice final question before we close it down. If there was any particular kind of tip you would give to people now that, aren't working with you or someone like you currently, what would that, is there something in particular you're seeing lately that you would share with everyone in terms of Google review tips?
Yeah, that's a fabulous one. And I feel like when people ask me that, I always think what the question that goes through my mind is like, what's your favorite movie? And it's so hard to pick just one. And so that's how I feel about this. I'm like, just one tip? I've got like 15. But I would say the most common thing or piece of advice, it's kind of a little twofold. So I'm going to sneak in two
That's
tips.
all right. My other series is 3 and 3, so you can go to up
perfect.
to 3.
Might think of a third while I'm talking. Then is really, it's the lack of awareness that we find from business owners, and the tip is how to prevent that from happening. Like, a lot of business owners don't have their listings claimed. So they're not even getting notifications or being made aware of negative reviews or positive reviews, but they're just not aware of what's going on out there. A lot of them don't understand that if you don't create the profile, they think if I don't create the profile, I'm not going to be on that platform. And unfortunately, that's not how this works. If a customer wants to leave a review about you and you don't have a profile created, Google, Yelp, all those platforms will actually make one for you.
Gotcha.
So our biggest tip is be a little egotistical for a second, Google your business name and claim every platform that's out there, even if you're not proactively growing things. That way you're at least getting the notifications, you're aware of the conversations that are happening. The second tip that kind of ties into that one, where we see a lot of businesses get in trouble, is they might work with either a marketing company, an SEO company, a company such as myself. And part of the service that we provide is if you haven't claimed your platform, we'll claim it for you, because it's a little bit of work to do. However, what we always insist with our clients, and I would highly stress again to business owners, if they do go down that route, is you should always be the owner. Just because the marketing company or the other company is helping you claim it, don't let them be the owner of the platform and you be the admin, because if for some reason that relationship ends further down the line, they're in control of your listing. And unfortunately, we have seen situations where things didn't end well and there were not the best actions taken, not the most professional actions taken by those companies. So always make sure you own, that you are the true owner of your listing.
Sounds good. Thank you for that advice. So again, Rhino/reviews.com. You can check Chelsea out there and learn more. And one of the other things I love too is, and I think it'll ring true for most of the women that are going to be through the series, is that you get us all directly. So we're all still small businesses ourselves, and we're still all fully engaged. And, there's nothing better than being able to actually talk to the owner, directly, and know that they're still in the business and, involved and care about their clients and their employees as well, and making sure that, like you said, everything's a good fit and everybody's happy and all the wheels are turning and moving in a positive direction. So thank you again for being first. And
Of course, thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to sharing some other women in business that I've worked with personally, and that most of them, like I said, have come through referrals, which is really cool. And that's another reason for this, is to continue to support each other in as many ways as we can. That was one of my goals when I started my consulting business, was just to continue to pay it forward as much as possible, because I feel like, that all good things come from, helping to lift each other up. So you can find my LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram at the Full Circle Business. You can go find Chelsea on LinkedIn or on her directly through her website at rhinoreviews.com. And you can reach out to either of us at any time with any kind of questions, and we're always happy to answer them. And sometimes they end up in videos. So you're also helping us with our content when you ask those questions, because other customers and clients tend to have similar questions as well. So, well, like I said, thank you again. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and it will continue into the foreseeable future so that I don't have to worry about our online reviews and managing all of that. And we'll see you back here for the next episode of Women in Women shortly.